Here's yet another list of things I don't care about. For reference, I have a 5 and a 3-year-old. Yes, this is part 5, but this is related to all things food and eating. After spending this last weekend with all of my siblings and my nieces and nephews, I realized I have a very different view on this than them. Number 1, I've already mentioned this, but I don't force my kids to finish their meal. I just don't think it's productive when it comes to teaching our kids to listen to their body. Not even I finish my food all the time. I like to listen to my body and check in with it and ask myself, are you still hungry? Do you want seconds? How are you feeling? Encourage my kids to do the same. When it comes to serving them food, I serve them really small portions, smaller than what you would think, and I am totally okay with them asking for seconds or thirds. I do that to try to reduce waste. Again, babies are born and they cry when they're hungry. They naturally know how to listen to their bodies, and then us as adults step in and project our own insecurities and relationship with food on our kids, and we rob them of that ability. Number 2, we categorize foods in my house as always foods and sometimes foods. I will never say no to them eating an always food or an always snack. When I talk to my kids about the difference between always and sometimes foods give us energy for longer periods of time. Always foods also are nutrient dense, so they help us grow and get big muscles and use our brain power. Sometimes foods also give us energy, but in a different way. They're fun and we burn through that energy really fast. The only rule in our house when it comes to sometimes foods is let's do our best to fill up our belly with an always food, and then we can eat whatever sometimes food we want. I'd like to think I lean on the conscious side and I try not to give my kids too many artificial dyes and flavors and sweeteners and blah blah blah. I'm definitely not restrictive around sometimes foods. Like if they want it, sure, we'll buy it, but I'm not gonna buy it in bulk because you're gonna be asking for it nonstop. That's another thing. I try to only have foods in my house that I'm okay with them having. My kids occasionally drink Sprite. This is when we're on a camping trip or when we're at a birthday party. They get really excited about Sprite and I don't tell them no, but I also won't have it in my home because that's gonna be the question every single day. Can I have a Sprite? Same thing when it comes to fast food. My kids have the occasional Happy Meal. I indulge in Chick-fil-A and different fast foods that I like every once in a while. We try to live by the 80-20 rule. 80% of our meals are at home, they're nutrient dense. 20% of the time we're going out and we're having fun fast food. I will make my kids a separate meal if they don't want what's for dinner. And I know this is controversial because there's a lot of moms, including my own, that was like, no, this is what's for dinner, you're eating what's served. My main reason for this is my husband and I have different goals when it comes to food. With my kids, I try to just get them to eat the rainbow and eat as many whole foods as they possibly can. Husband and I are trying to eat high protein. We're trying to hit 100 to 150 grams of protein. So for mine and my husband's dinner, we might be eating steak for 3 nights in a row. I don't expect my kids to want that for 3 nights in a row. If they want ravioli or a grilled cheese, oftentimes I'll make them their own full separate meal, and I know that seems excessive. Then we just have leftovers for lunch the next day. So I'm kind of just like helping myself tomorrow. To me, this all around just isn't worth the fight. I will say on these nights that I make them their own separate meal, my husband and I will sit down and start eating